Good evening, everybody. I can hardly hold myself. I'm so excited. We're on the fourth race now of the DTM 92's and the Touring Classics. We're at Bathurst, Mount Panorama in Australia, and this is the last race. And I can tell you, it's tight. We'll cover the positions later on, but before we do, we'll have a quick track guide with our resident evil. No, not our resident evil. He's racing tonight. You can see him there, the 207. We're going to be jumping in with our resident alien, of course, which is Speed Demon. We're going to jump in the cockpit with Speed. Speed's going to take us around Mount Panorama, and we'll give you a quick orientation. Good evening, Speed.
Evening. Just about to go.
So perfectly timed. There he is. Speed is along the pit straight there. Coming up to the first corner, which is Hell Corner. In he goes, carrying some speed outside of the track, all the way down now to Mountain Straight. Mountain Straight, 1.1 kilometres. He'll be reaching up to about 160 miles down here. Under the bridge, down the hill, coming up to the first corner, Quarry Bend. Sometimes into third, sometimes fourth, hugging the corner, pushing to the outside of the track. Up into the cutting. Into the cutting now, and entering Griffin's Mount, through what is now known as Reed Park throughout. So he hugs that corner there. All the way over to the concrete wall. In real life they call this the Grate. And then hugging around Silverman Park, this corner here, before going downhill in Mount Panorama into McPhillamy Park area, straight through the S's into the Dipper. Down the hill into the final sharp corner, which is Forest's Elbow, before it extends away into Conrod Straight. 1.9 kilometres of straight line with a small kink, which we call the Chase. Speed will be reaching up to about 280 kilometres an hour down here, about 173 miles an hour. As he just goes down this hill, and you can just see the kink there as he hugs the corner, up into the Chase. And down into the final straight towards Murray's Corner. Murray's Corner, the penultimate corner before the final pit straight. Into pit straight and across the line, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is an alien zipping around Bathurst. Fantastic. What was the time there? Let's have a look now. So Speed done that in 2:09.239, which is fantastic. Well done, Speed. Thanks very much. You're welcome to join us in the commentary box whenever you can pull yourself out of that car. Back into Auto Director, fantastic. So there you go, first couple of minutes of the stream, and you've had a quick zip around Bathurst. Thank you very much, Speed, for that. It was fantastic. We've taken you around through the corners. You've got a track guide there. Over to you, Speed. What have you got to say about this circuit for everyone?
Yeah, it's a very fun circuit, definitely very technical, and it requires a lot of patience and being very accurate in the corners, especially on the top part of the section where you've got walls, especially with these beasts of a car. It's not an easy track to take. Yeah,
and various different cars out there, of course, because this is a DTM 92 and the Touring Classics. If you were racing in this league, which would you be preferring for this particular for Bathurst?
I think it's got to be the Skyline. Skyline's just a beast.
And it's got long legs, right, which will help down that Conrod Straight and the Mountain Straight?
Yeah, like you said, you get up to 280 kilometres an hour in the Skyline now, where I think most of the other cars are hitting rev limit to around about 270. So.
Yeah, and we can see that the best lap so far is Evil in this qualifying period. Oh, sorry, 5 minutes left of practice. Evil's done a 2:07.905. I mean, that's going some. He's really been playing around, tinkering with that car, right?
Yeah, he's been putting a lot of laps in, so he's honed down his driving lines, his braking points. Obviously, this is a default championship, so it's all about maximising the car, not so much the setup.
Yeah, wonderful. A shout out to our viewers tonight. We've got 9 people watching on the stream there. So a shout out to you. Welcome everybody. By all means, stick with us for the next 45 minutes. There's going to be a lot of fun. And any questions that you've got, chuck them in right in the chat there, and we'll do our best to answer them. I can't obviously, but Speed certainly can. And an announcement, Speed. I've got an announcement. I'm a cock.
Well, I know that before.
No, I'm a proper cock now.
Oh, you got the official title?
Yeah, I am the new RWB Chief of Commentary, just shortened to cock. So I'm really appreciative of that. But seriously though, I'm over the moon about that, and anything to serve the RWB group of lads and ladies. We have the odd lady that visits us. And the sim community in general. So great honour for me, and yeah, thoroughly looking forward to our live streams and other things that we'll be doing to spread the great word of RWB. So
Yeah, congrats, mate. I know we've been talking about stuff like this for a while within the honchos, so it was nice to actually get you up on board, give you a pedestal to stand on there.
Well, I'm really grateful. Okay then. Well, look, we've got what 3 minutes left of practice. You know, it's at this point here, really, we should be looking at the track. So, what do you know about Bathurst Speed, apart from the fact you're a monster around here? What do you know anything about it?
It's altitude. It's about as much as I know.
Yeah, 862 meters. 6.2 kilometres or 3.8 miles in New South Wales in Australia. Bathurst oblique Mount Panorama, built in the 1930s from an initiative from the Bathurst mayor, a guy called Martin Griffin. That's why one of the corners is called Griffin Corner, after him. Hosted some of the continent's most outstanding racing. Cleverly used federal money, old Mayor Griffin there, to incorporate a tourist driving route Speed over the mountain that we're watching John D go up the mountain at the minute, and all of this is public road, and you can drive around here. You can go on holiday to Australia and whiz around here in your hire car while it's wheezing at 90 mile an hour, but you will get pulled over by the old bill because they patrol it regularly. I think the speed limit is about 60 kilometres an hour around here, so you won't be able to be doing any speeding around here, but it is a public road and it's owned by the public. Speed, unlike the UK, where of course you'd pay for a track day or whatever, you could very easily just zip on over to New South Wales and drive around Bathurst. How about that?
Is it not a toll road then as well?
It very likely is. It very likely is. If we've got any of our friends in chat who know whether it is a toll road, let us know. But all the research I managed to do just found out that it's a public road. It probably is a toll road.
I don't know. There's houses on it, isn't there?
Yeah, there are 44 houses around the track. I mentioned earlier on Conrod Straight, which is the main straight at the back there, as we watch John D come into Murray Corner. And on that corner there, just behind the camera, is the Australia National Automobile Museum, National Racing Museum, where the renowned king of the mountain, Peter Brock, has been enshrined forever in a statue at the National Racing Museum. He won the Bathurst 1000 9 times, which is unbroken to this date. And he's the undisputed king of the mountain. So yeah, there you go. Murray Corner is the corner where the National Racing Museum is.
I also think this is where the Nissan Skyline got its Godzilla name from as well. This track. It was so dominant back in the day.
Yep, absolutely right. It's hosted many types of racing events and continues to do so as we just draw to the end of practice, and we'll flick our switches to qualifying. But no motor racing, no motorbike racing around Bathurst anymore. Just simply far too dangerous. But of course, that doesn't stop them going around on the public roads when it's not hosting the Bathurst 1000 or the Superlights or any of the other historic racing and modern racing that goes on around Bathurst. So as we watch Mark Bean there come out in the Volvo. Now, interestingly, the 240, the turbo, how do you think that will do around here, Speed?
I don't think it's going to do well. I know talking to Beans after the Raceroom race, he said that he was hitting the rev limiter in 5th gear in that car around Raceroom Raceway Park. So he's definitely going to be hitting the rev limiter around this track. So it's got much longer straights. So I think it's going to be a tall order for him to be against these GTRs and the other cars that don't actually hit their rev limiter.
Yeah. And I was just, as you were saying that, you know, I was just looking at our race director there. We've got Evil in a Nissan, we've got Madley in a Nissan, we've got Banksy in a Nissan, we've got Rigel in a Nissan, we've got Audi in a Volvo, Mark Bean in a Volvo, we've got Gabsy in an Audi. That'll be interesting to see how the Audi holds up around Mount Panorama Speed.
Yeah, I think it'd be quite well rounded because it's another 4-wheel drive, big turbo car, a bit like the Nissan. It's just whether it runs out of gear at the end of the straight. That's the only problem.
Yeah. Okay, so they're coming towards the end of their, as we watch Resident Evil there, coming down Comrade Straight. Just coming towards the end of their first warm-up lap. That's enormous, 1.9 kilometres down there. I mean, that's extraordinary sort of distance for essentially a straight. They actually put the kink in, and then the right-hander that we can see there and the left-hander as Evil goes round there to slow it down. 19 people have died around this track since 1962, which is an incredible amount. As we watch Evil there just lose it on Murray Corner as Madley comes down, also opted for the GTR. An orange GTR, Madley, really? Bless him. Closely behind him there, I think that's Banksy. No, sorry, Audi, isn't it, in the Volvo?
So either Audi or Beans. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you this week. Do we have any parabolicas around this track?
No, there are no parabolicas around this track. What's a parabolica, Speed?
Continuous radius corner.
There you go. Don't say anything if you watch this stream afterwards or you're watching it now that you don't learn something. A parabolica, a corner of equal radius. There we go. Do you know what today's fact is, Speed?
Go on, tell me what today's fact is.
I'm the new cock.
Is that the new fact?
Why don't you give us a rundown of your thoughts on the current races? We've got 20 racing tonight. Why don't you spend a couple of minutes talking to us about that, Speed?
Yeah, we've got 20 races tonight. We've got a good mix of nationalities in here. We've got a majority of it is from the UK. We've got a couple of Norwegians, a couple of Germans, a Greek, and a Frenchman. This week, we're on board with RWB Smug Gun, Rigel, in the Skyline. He's a very quick racer. Been on VR for the last couple of weeks, giving it a test, and he's back onto his single screen now, so I expect him to pick his pace back up versus the finished positions that he had last week. We've also got Madley, which is a good friend of yours, a Welshman, so you've got to watch out for them sheep. Beans is a bus driver by day and a sim racer by night. Evil, as Dr. Evil, is the GTA fanboy, plays it with Banksy and a few others during the night. Audi is our resident Norwegian. I'm out of the facts now.
Okay. Earlier on, I said it was tight and it was a close. This is going to be a close race, and it is. You know what? It's very complex. There are 4 races, and each one of these races can drop one race. That race that is dropped, if they do all 4, is their lowest position or their lowest amount of scores. Now, I'm not going to focus on this too much because there will be some working out to do afterwards, and we can be able to do a little bit of it during it. But currently, for everyone listening, and oh, my stream's gone all funny. But currently, Rodders is in first position, who's currently not racing tonight, so he's on holiday, so a big shout out to him. But that's his race dropped, essentially. So he's done his races, and the points that he's got at the minute is 125. So he is currently leading. But of course, he's not racing now, so he's not going to be adding to that because this is his drop race. Evil is currently in second with 118 points, and Ben Davis currently in third with 102 points. Ben being in the Volvo. So you've then got Audi and you've then got Rigel in 4th and 5th respectively, with Madley close behind Rigel at 92. So it really is very, very close because the point system is quite generous. For first position, you're going to get 45 points. Second, 42. Third, 40. And fourth, 38. And fifth, 36. So without turning this into a huge maths lesson, essentially it means that actually anyone from the top 4, if they come first, not including Rodders, are in a good position to probably win the whole league.
Yeah, there's lots of permutations that will see Rodders winning the race or losing the championship. I think if Evil scores 37 points tonight, and scores more than 10 points than anyone else, I think he wins the he wins it overall. I think if for Madley to win the championship, he has to score more than 10 points than Evil. But in order for him to get the 47 points needed, he has to get the qualifying, the pole position points, and the fastest lap points. So yeah. It's a tight one.
Very tight, yeah. Like as I said, so tight that I'm afraid what we will do is we will celebrate whoever wins this race. But what we will not do is we will not make that call as to who wins the league. If you want to find out who wins the league, then and you're not an RWB member, then go on to rwbracing.com. I think it is. Speed will check that for me. But is it com? It is .com, isn't it? Club. Race rwbracing.club. Pop onto Discord and you'll be able to find out what the league results there are. We'll probably ask our resident Gandalf tech guru FX, perhaps he can post something or add an annotation to the video. But we won't make that call now, okay? So that's bottom line up front. We won't make the call who wins the league after this race because there are some math to do. There are some math. There is some math.
Well, I think we could pretty say if Evil wins the race, I think he's pretty much won the championship because he only has to score 37 points in order to win. I think from what Rodders told me the other day.
Oh, yes, but Evil has raced in every race so far, and his lowest points was in race 2, which is 30. So, yeah, you're right. I suppose his current score at the minute, being. So what's his current score at the minute? His current score at the minute is 118. You've got to knock 30 points off of that. If he wins, he'll get 45. Knock 30 points off of his current score, which is 118. And I think you'll find that he will literally be 1 or 2 points above or beyond Rodders. So as I said, it is a math issue. And I don't really want to take up the commentary trying to work it out. But if Evil does come first, it means that he will drop 30 points from race 2. Because that's the lowest score. So, you know what? Let's work this out. So I said I wouldn't, but so 118 minus 30. So that's 88 plus 45 for the winner is 133. So you are right. If Evil wins this, he will have a score of 133, which will essentially mean that he would have won above Rodders by, 8 points. exactly. Stunned silence, all of you.
Math on camera. Go on,
Math
Mice.
on camera, yeah. 450 left of qualifying. Currently, Madley is putting the fastest with a 208.428, 208.248, sorry. With Rigel in second, John D in third, C-Sam with 1 second down. 1 second? 1 second amongst the top four. Is that the sort of differential that you'd expect, Speed?
I'd expect it to be a bit closer because he has been closer throughout the season. I wonder if they're just still getting their eye in, hitting a bit of traffic on the fast laps. They've had to back off and they're just struggling with a bit of pace at the minute.
Yeah. I must stop saying yeah. Gabsy, great rally driver there from a motorsport family. Always a pleasure to see him zipping around the track. If he can get that car sideways, he will. There you go. He's done that on purpose. That just ticks his rally box, I think, as he goes down Conrod Straight. 1.9k, remember, at 170 miles an hour. They'll get down here. Questions, let's have a look in chat. Any questions in chat? Let's have a look now. So we're going to say some highs now. Hi to FX, obviously he's racing tonight. Really, we should change his name to Tech Gandalf, really. He's just an amazing tech guy. Yeah, so a shout out to everyone on chat there. Great. Very good point from Rodders there, just informing us and reminding us that 24th of August we got the X17 F1 League. Are you racing in that, Speed?
Well, the news to everyone is that I'm not racing in it. I'm going to be sitting in the commentary box and also helping out drivers within the league with tuning, getting to know the track, and obviously racecraft. For this league, I've decided that it's an area we want to try, so I decided to back down from the league.
That's fantastic. You know, I've spent so long with you, Speed. I feel close to you. I almost feel like I'm going to grow tentacles in a sort of alien. Just from osmosis, I think. I'm so pleased. But on a serious note, that will help a lot of people out. You giving advice on setups and stuff, particularly the open wheelers can be quite touchy, can't they?
Yeah, it's a different driving style to what the tin tops are, and obviously a lot of people struggle with doing setups, track knowledge. So I decided to take the plunge and say, right, then I'll help people out. And obviously it might get some more people involved that we've got this opportunity now where they can actually sit down with me and learn the track, learn the braking points, and learn a bit about the car setup, so they can hopefully get themselves further up the grid.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really great news, and I suppose that's a bit of a segue, is it not, into perhaps mentioning for anybody who watches this video afterwards that isn't a member of RWB, our upcoming academies in the latter part of 2019 into 2020, Phobos and Titan. I think you'll be running that as well, Speed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'll be running along the same lines of helping people out with, track knowledge, racing etiquettes, and racing craft. Also, a bit of setup help. Just helping them people that are struggling with, generally knowing where to put the car, and obviously just helping them out in general. Maybe a few seconds off the lap time means a lot to them.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's commendable, and I doff my hat, sir, so thank you. Yeah, Rodders has just reminded us, who's watching on his holiday right now, that not just 45 points, guys. Of course, we can have additional points there, I believe, for leading the race and fastest lap, and there's a couple of other bonus points there. So, actually, perfectly possible for 49 points to be won. Now, I said we won't make that call who's won because I think it's right that the honchos work that out. But I do have the scores in front of us, so we perhaps might be able to make an early call with a caveat that will be confirmed by the club honchos. As we go into the warm-up now, 3 minutes. Question speed in the sim world. Does the warm-up make any difference to the tyre or brake temperatures before the race?
No, it's a completely separate session, so it'll all reset back to default. I think the only thing that'll carry over if the sim supports it is the track degradation, if I can spit the word out. So the track conditions, so how much rubber's down on the track, whether it's a wet track to a dry track, that'll transfer over to the next session. But regarding the cars, no, they'll have a fresh car at the start of the race.
That's great, thank you. Marco in the Volvo there, and John D in the Nissan. He's also in an orange Nissan. So two early Godzillas in orange, the other one being Madley, I believe. So a quick rundown of the positions. I missed who got pole. I think it was Madley, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure. I'll scroll back.
I keep promoting him to pole.
Yeah, so it was Madley.
Yeah.
Madley got pole by a Nat's Nut from CSAM, from John Haig, Rigel, John D, Audi, Beans, Banksy, Gabsy, Ben. Evil way down the grid. I don't know what's happened to him in qualifying, but he was in the 207s. He was the only person in 207s in practice, but only managed a 2:10.7 in the qualifying. FX said he wasn't going to be doing well, but he's just outside the top 10 in 11th. And then Rico Haas, Marco, Sasha Haas, Rick Binnersley, H-Tune, David Crew, Flack, Charger, and then Federico. I think that's how you say his name. Rounding out the last positions.
Yeah, and a welcome to. I think this is the first time we've seen Vanga race with us on this.
No, Vanga's one that pops in every now and again and does a race. I think he's with it being in Greece, it's quite a hard time zone to, be able to race with us. So he misses quite a few races.
Yeah, for some strange reason, Gabsy and Mark Bean and John D have all got very high pings. I hope that doesn't start inflecting disappearing cars and so forth later on, but let's see how it goes. 1 minute then for them to get onto the grid, onto the pit straight. The first corner is a 90 left, which is Hell Corner, which leads into the 1.1k mountain straight under the bridge, down the hill into Quarry Bend. So that's our first section. What are you looking for in this first part, Speed?
I'm just looking for everyone to get through the first couple of corners clean, settle into a rhythm. It's a 45-minute race with a mandatory pit stop, so it's all about playing the numbers game and not pushing too hard. We've got the red lights up. About to go green.
Okay, red lights, here we go then for the last race in the DTM and the Classics, and they're away. And a good start from everybody there. I think that's Banksy moving out into the middle there. In the lead there, in the GTRs, as you said, they were extending away already. You can see the legs on them. Madley we're looking at in the orange GTR. In front of him, CSAM. I know that in the red and black one.
Yeah, we've currently got a Nissan Skyline 1 to 6 at the minute, followed by 3 Volvos, and then just a bunch of DTM 92 cars by the looks of it. Yeah, Rodders has just pointed out that Evil nipped the pole right at the end.
Yeah,
So,
he did.
I scrolled back too far.
There's someone's just had an off there. Someone's just had an off coming into Griffin's. Who was that? Looks like it might have been Dave Crew.
I'm not showing any signs of damage on anyone's car at the minute.
Yeah, I think it was Dave Crew as we watch him just going down now into the dipper. Okay, back onto, you can have control speed. There's a battle going on all over the place. So riding with Rigel then in the GTR as he goes through the chase, down the hill towards Murray's corner, the last corner towards the pit straight. Currently running fourth, right up Madley's chuff. Behind him a bit of space there, 1.3 seconds to Banksy.
Swapped it back onto Auto Director.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and as you said, them GTRs, they're such high ratio gears, aren't they? The top two gears that they just extend away. They excel on a track with long straights, don't they?
Yeah, as we've seen throughout the season, they've done very well on straights, on long straights. So we come to Bathurst and they're going to just be awesome. I don't think there's any other car that's going to beat them this week.
I agree, certainly around here. But actually they've been good at all the other circuits as well, haven't they? I mean, they're a really good, solid, fast car. If someone just hits the wall there by the grate, coming into Salmon Park, as we watch Mark Bean, through McPhillamy Park there into the S's. Down into the dipper, very tight into that wall there, but best way. Turn in onto the Forest Elbow, just at the bottom here. Of course we're riding with Marco now. He's in the other Volvo.
Back to Beans now.
Back to Bean. Crikey, Auto Director, get a grip or I'm going to sack you.
Looks like CSAM's got in front of Evil. So I bet Rodders is jumping up and down on the sofa.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I bet he is. Evil, all over CSAM. CSAM trying to extend away, but of course he can match it with the power of the same car, so it's all down to their setup and ability. But crikey, Evil's on it like a fat kid on cake, isn't he? He's really done fantastic in qualifying, 2:07 I think it was. What time did you do when you went round speed? What was that? I know it was only a warm-up and you had cold tyres and stuff, but what was that?
I think I did 2:09.3.
Yeah. Oh, side by side through the quarry there. I think that was Rigel and Madley. Yeah, Rigel and Madley. As we see H-Tune and Audi side by side. Audi in the Volvo and H-Tune in the Merc. Side by side going down Mountain Straight now. He's just extended away, Audi. Yeah, he's got him there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the DTM 92 cars are going to be struggling this week. We just don't have the out top speed of the other cars. They're more built up for the a tighter twister track, not these long straights and climbing up hills.
Yeah, as we just saw Audi there hit the side of the wall going through the quarry and then having problems coming up the hill towards the cut-in, but he had the inside, didn't he? So H-Tune pretty much, but H-Tune did get him by the seems of things. I must have missed that.
Yeah, Audi ran wide into the corner off the straight, and obviously got up into the wall, and H-Tune just went past him on the inside.
Madly through the chase, down the hill, under the bridge, and then Murray's corner in front of him. As he eyes up Rigel in front of him. Madly currently running. Where is he currently running? Let's see.
It's currently
running 6th. He's currently running 6th. Yeah, 6th in the championship. I'm talking about. Sorry, yeah, fourth on this race.
Yeah, I just had a quick glance at the championship, what they get for each position, and I think if Evil finishes in the top 4, he gets that 38 points that he needs to take the championship from Rodders.
Some really tight battles going on here. You know, there's 4 from 3rd to 7th. You know, you've got John Hagel, Rigel. You know, 0.6 of a second behind him. Madly, we just seen there, and then behind him, Banksy going sideways, and behind Banksy, Mark Bean, all within the space of about 20 yards. You know, not even a car's length between them as they chase Rigel in the GTR up Mount Panorama. So some really fairly tight. It only takes one mistake. That's all it takes as they come fairly tight into the dipper.
Yeah, as you can see in the rear view mirror of Madley's car, just a freight train of cars behind him. And obviously Bean's doing very well in that Volvo to keep up with everyone.
Yeah,
Especially
Madley just getting out of shape there, coming down into the into Forest Elbow there, just slowed him down. That's given Banksy time to come alongside him, but why on the inside coming towards the kink, towards the chase? He's on the wrong side, surely Speed.
He just had enough momentum to get past him just before the kink.
Fantastic.
So that was a good move on Banksy's part. It looked like obviously Madley had a slight wheel spin.
Fantastic close racing by these two through the chase there and down the hill towards Murray's corner. Madley will be spitting sheep now, and he will want that position back from Banksy. But you know, Banksy isn't. None of these fellas are going to give it to you.
You must be a couple of seconds behind me on the stream because they're currently going into turn 1 for me.
Are they really? Let me refresh. Oh no, I'm with them. They're down mountain straight now. Press F5, and you'll refresh. Sorry guys, this is what you do when you're streaming. You're slightly behind. As we saw CSAM just go wide there. That's given Evil the opportunity, and there he goes. Oh, that's fantastic for Evil. Not so fantastic for Rodders, clearly. Yeah, CSAM will. Well, he'll get some points anyway in addition, won't he? Because he led some laps. But Evil is the one on this league so far. You know, if Evil keeps that position, he will win. There's no question about that. I know it's early days and there are pit stops to go, and of course tyres go off. But Evil is in the perfect position, is he not?
Yeah, he's out from. He can drive his own lines now. Concentrate on the track in front rather than looking behind him. He's wanting to capitalise. He's going to be putting some quick laps in now, try and break the gap.
Yeah, fair point actually. In chat there, just mentioned about Rigel. Rigel was super consistent as we saw. Oh, was that Audi just clipped the front there and just hold it? That Volvo's got such a long wheelbase that you really got to whack it actually to you know, to lose it. Interestingly, back there, coming out of Salmon Park into McPhillamy Park, in the real world, they call that section the Great. Ours, we saw someone go off bloody auto director.
Yeah, auto director's not being his friend today.
No.
As John's got CSAM as well. So like a bad lap for CSAM then, as the pit window's opened. So we've got 15 minutes to get down. So it's about 7-8 laps before pit window closes. And they need to come down and change all 4 tyres.
What would your strategy be, Speed? Depending on where you are on the, you know, if you're in the top, you know, in the top 4 now, would you be pitting straight away, or would you try and go as far as you could on those tyres?
I'd be trying to go as far as I could. So obviously, if you're pitting early, you're dropping yourself into the pack. Unless you can see there's a big gap, you know, a 30-40 second gap behind you, where you can drop into some clean air and obviously get the clean space of track so you can run the lines you want. It's not worth pitting as early as possible.
Good stuff coming through Salmon there. Those red and white bits everyone can see on the, some people think they're the curves. There's lots of different nicknames for them. Gator strips, rumble strips, candy canes. Called, you know, they're called all different types of things depending on where you are in the world. In America, they're called candy canes. In Australia, they're called gator strips. There you go, Speed. Did you know that?
Nope. I just followed.
So we're in Australia. So what are they called?
Gator strips.
Gator strips. What's a parabolic of Speed?
Continuous radius corner. And what are you at the minute?
A cock. As we watch Banksy close up with Madley down on the Conrad straight through the chase. Can you imagine without the kink and the chase there, that just being a straight line directly into a 90 left, which is Murray's corner? Can you imagine the sorts of speeds they've been picking up down there, Speed?
Oh yeah, it takes up big balls. Obviously, it's pretty much a 90-degree left-hander with not much runoff. So losing your brakes at that point, I think you're brown bread.
Yeah, and in the real world, 19 people have died around this circuit, and you know, rest in peace to them. And yeah, of course, we won't get too serious about it, but you know, hats off to those who've lost their lives in the real world racing this circuit. I've watched quite a few videos over the past couple of days in preparation for tonight, and the V8 supercars, the Australian V8 supercars with the Bathurst 1,000 kilometres. These cars they raced around here, they're like a hybrid between a muscle car and a touring car. They're just absolutely phenomenal. 650 horsepower zipping around here. Quite interestingly, the outright record around here Speed was set by a 650S GT3 201. Can you imagine that?
Oh yes, it's certainly going on some minutes. It's very good. I remember, I think last year, Audi took one of their GT3 cars with no restrictors to this track for some testing, and I think he got into the 158s, if I remember rightly, in an unofficial session.
Okay, I've sacked Auto Director. Speed, you and I both have control of it. Currently on the wing of Rigel, John Haig, looking back to CSAM. Evil is 1 second in front of Haig, in front of Rigel. And the time differential between Rigel, who we're riding with, and Evil is maintaining between 1 and 1.25 seconds. So looking back at CSAM, who's only half a second away. CSAM has already dropped a race. If CSAM was to come first, what would that look like, bearing in mind that there are additional points if I ignore those for a minute?
Yes,
CSAM was to come first, that's 45 points.
Yes, CSAM still has to outscore Evil by 8 points.
That's right. because that would make CSAM 127 points without the additional. So again, you know, we could confuse the whole stream with, you know, points and so forth. So I'll refer back to what I said in the early days. We will try and refrain from giving a projection. We will only celebrate the final positions on here, and then of course please click onto our Discord. Come find out who actually won the league, or we might annotate the video later on. As Sam, just seeing him getting closer and closer, isn't he, on Rigel?
Yes, that'll be because CSAM was nearly a second quicker on that last lap and took the fastest lap of the race with a 2:08 in that last lap. So he's got his composure back and he's back into the groove. And he was actually, what, 0.8 tenths quicker than, a second.
Oh, as we saw Evil just go, sorry, Speed, we just saw Evil there lose his position on that, just coming into the S's, and that has allowed Rigel to really close right up. Crikey, there's reach around territory going on down there. And of course, CSAM, he's the master, isn't he, of the sort of tactic of hanging around, you know, when he's in this sort of position and then exploiting an opportunity, and before you know it, he's first.
Yeah, he's very good at being patient, you know, sitting there waiting for us to make a mistake around him and then capitalise on that mistake. But he's also prone to make mistakes himself, so he's one of them. It can be a catch-22 for him.
Yeah. Into the chase as Rigel closes up there. Rigel is 0.6 of a second, 0.5 of a second behind Evil, and 0.5 of a second behind Rigel is CSAM as they come into Murray's corner. And God, look at that, he brakes so late, doesn't he? But holds it in. Crikey, there's a bit of a freight train behind that. 2 seconds behind CSAM, let's have a look there. Riding with CSAM, we can see Madley just come round Murray's corner, by which point CSAM is coming into the first corner, Hell's corner, just turning into it. Oh, now he's down the mountain straight, isn't he? Yeah, down the mountain straight.
Yeah, there's a 3-second gap between the front three and the chasing pack at the minute.
And I think Madley has just taken Banksy. Yeah, Madley into 4th position as they come into the mountain now, up into the cut-in, up around Reed Park. Madley's holding Banksy away there, sliding 4 wheels. Crikey, they really are pushing it. Both of them, look at them, those GTRs. How much horsepower they got, Speed, you know?
I reckon around about 500-600 brake horsepower, I think. I presume it would be something like that.
Or as he just goes, oh no, he gets out of shape. Oh bloody hell. Oh, that's outrageous. Come on, come on. As he's conscious now, he's going to lose 2 positions. That's 3 positions he's lost. As he reverses it back up and then carries on down the S's. Oh, and there's someone behind him now who just holds, oh, it just takes him on the inside. Who was that? It was Gabsy in the Audi. Wow, well, well. Madley will now be not only spitting sheep, he'll be executing sheep in his thoughts. And he's got some work to do now to catch up, isn't he? He's in 8th position now.
Yeah, it looks so got away with that. It didn't get any damage, so he can just focus, you know, regain his composure and get back in the race now.
So now we're looking at the back of Evil onto Rigel, 0.3 of a second behind in the other GTR. As he comes into Murray's, he carries so much speed through Murray's, and behind Rigel there is CSAM, ever hovering, never discount at all. These well, I was going to say never discount. I mean, how can you do that? The guy's 30, super quick, super consistent, really quick, isn't he?
Yeah. Especially in these sort of cars. I know when he drove the Mustang in the GT3 League, it wasn't the easiest car to drive. It was a bit wayward and a bit wallowy, and that's what these cars drive like.
Yeah.
It's all about the weight, getting the weight balance right into corner, you know, loading the front axle up and then getting that weight transferred over to the rear so you can power through the corners. And he's really good at, you know, positioning the weight of the car into corners.
riding in the cockpit with CSAM, who is ever hovering right behind. He's the master, isn't he, of the close racing. You know, this. You know, if you are not a sim racer and you're watching this, you're probably tuts. But let me tell you, when you're around a circuit like this, in a car like this, which is, as you say, so very wallowy, a little tap there, but I don't think anything major. To race that close, the CSAM is the master of that. Do you not think?
Yeah, he's very good at being right up your cuff. Pretty much there to give you a reach around if you make a mistake.
He could.
He's that good at racing close. I don't know how he does it sometimes, especially when you're up close against a big car that you can't see your apexes. You must do a lot of practice riding up people's rear ends with them.
Yeah. Let's have a quick recap for everybody, because obviously we're focusing on these three. So right now, Evil in first place, Rigel second, and CSAM. 1 second between all three of them as we riding with CSAM heading down towards Murray's corner as CSAM comes into the pits for the first one. Comes to the corner. Is he allowed to do that?
That might be good. That grass.
Straight over the grass. Is he allowed to do that? I'm not quite sure whether he can do that, but you know what? He has. So in the pits with CSAM as we flick onto the TV of Evil as we watch him now come down towards, I think it's Quarry. Yeah, in towards Quarry. And who's that? That's Rigel, isn't it? On the outside, coming down the hill towards Quarry Bend. Is Rigel going to take him coming into Quarry and coming up the hill towards the cut-in? I don't think so. But he will stay hanging off of him, will he not? All the way through the mountain section, I'm willing to bet.
Yeah, it's pretty much a one line through this.
As he takes him on the inside, look. Takes him on the inside, fantastic. Yeah, look at that, wow. Evil would have said to himself, where the bloody hell has he come from? As we watch Evil chasing Rigel through Ree Park and into McPhillamy Park before the beginning of the S's. That was great racing there from Rigel, who exploited the opportunity perfectly into the cut-in there. Holy moly, well, we said it earlier on in chat, you know, Rigel is ever the consistent quick racer. He's proven himself by that move. That was fantastic stuff. So, as I said before, I gave myself palpitation speed. I was going to give a rundown, but do you want to do that?
I'll let you do it.
So, CSAM pitted. He's now out, and he's currently in 7th position. Won't be long before he rises up the ranks. So he's the highest place with having pitted first. John D and Mark Bean have also pitted, as has Dave Crew, FX and Wagner. They have also pitted. Crikey, look at Evil hanging out of the back of Rigel. Are they going to start to suffer from their tyres around about this time, do you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to start dropping off. I expect them to be in the pits within the next couple of laps. To be honest, I would have thought they'd been in this lap to cover CSAM's pit off, but obviously they feel like they can go quicker still, so they're just going to stay out and obviously do a couple of more laps and hopefully overcut CSAM as he's dropped into a bit of traffic.
Yeah. Top three: Rigel, Evil, and Banksy. Banksy riding with him. Banksy's 5 seconds behind Evil. Evil is 0.7 of a second behind. You can see there, Banksy can't even see Evil. Banksy's got a clear track. He won't see Evil at all as he just hits the wall there. He won't see Evil until the Conrod straight. Interestingly, in real life, this particular section here is called the Great. No, here, and I don't think they're there. It's not mapped in the sim, as Banksy's suffering with tyres as well, by the looks of things. Yeah, and as I said, you know, now down to 7 seconds. So Banksy really filling it with the tyres now, into the dipper. But I would expect Banksy to be pitting on this lap, I think.
Yeah, I expect them all to be pitting. in the next lap or so, because they've dropped off to 11 lap times. That's where they were doing 2.9s and 2.08s at the start in the first couple of laps. So obviously they're struggling really bad with tyre wear around here. It's really affecting the pace.
Yeah, as we watch John D there with Ben Davis in the Volvo on the inside into Reed, and then around the long left-hander, past the grate, into McPhillamy Park and down towards the S's. Fantastic racer, Ben Davis. A shout out to him. He does this with a controller. I know I've said that before, but it's always well worth mentioning. Why?
That's beans.
Oh, it is beans. It is beans, isn't it? Cancel that. He's talented anyway. Where is Ben Davis? Behind John D. He uses a controller. Unbelievable. Because he's very, very quick out there. That just re-emphasises the all-inclusiveness of RWB. We don't care whether you can steer with your eyelids, provided you can race clean, fair, with position, respect other people, and of course enjoy yourself. You're welcome anytime. Isn't that true, Speed?
Yeah, we're a family-friendly club.
Apart from the odd cock every now and then, but that's fine because the chief commentary cock.
I'm trying to keep a straight face. Oh,
You gotta have a laugh doing this, I tell you. You can't take it seriously. My whole family are looking at me at the minute like I'm an absolute lunatic. Right, back to the race. So John Haig, Rigel, not pitted yet, currently first, riding with him in cockpit. Right behind him is Evil. Rodders watching this on his holiday at the moment, biting his thumbnails, biting his nails off. He's down to the flesh because he probably wants the Evil drop down a good few places, I expect. Look at that, absolutely unbelievable. Onto the TV, Rigel just taking Evil there, or Evil challenging Rigel, sorry, but Rigel not having any of it. Down onto the Conrod straight now. He's saying you can chase me if you like. You better reach up 170 odd miles an hour because I ain't taking my foot off.
Yeah, they've got a back marker in the middle of that section there, which obviously allowed Evil to catch up to Rigel.
0.2 of a second, Evil behind Rigel, as they come out the exit of the chase and down towards Murray's Corner. And in comes Rigel. I knew he would this time round. Rigel's coming for his tyres. Evil now will undoubtedly try and get as much distance now in first position as he possibly can before coming into the pits, I would have thought. What do you think, Speed?
Yeah, I think Evil's going to be pushing. Rigel's wanting to get as clean as pit stop as anything. Plus, you can lose 4 or 5 seconds quite easily in a pit stop, and it's hard to make up 4 or 5 seconds on the track. So he's going to be wanting to do his pit stops, get his tyre change done, and get out there as quickly as possible. Whereas Evil's wanting to push as hard as he possibly can to possibly do the overlap on him, and get a couple of seconds in front of him, so he's got that little buffer as he comes into the pits.
As we ride with Rick Binnersley now, very close to Dave Crew, I believe that's the 6 Series BM, through the S's and into the into Forest Elbow. That BM looks out of shape.
It doesn't look like the easiest car to drive around this track at the minute. It looks all over the shop.
On the wing of Madley as John D just takes Madley along the I think that's the mountain straight. Yep, that's the mountain straight. Look at that, 2 orange GTRs. That's disgusting. They shouldn't have orange livery. Orange and black, but not orange and white. Come on.
Yeah, see, Sam's just set another fastest lap on that last lap, because he's got that clear track now. Yeah.
Evil in first position. He's just run a 209.8 was his last lap, and Gabsey's 30 seconds behind him. So as we said, Evil was using this opportunity to really sort of extend away as much as possible. Would he not push those tyres as much as he possibly could?
Yeah, if he's coming into the pits on this lap, he'll be using every inch of the tyres.
He's not. Look, he's going into Hell Corner now. He's going to go around for another one.
Well, he did just set his personal best lap on that lap, so obviously he thinks that the tyres are with him, that he's not battling, he's not defending from people behind him now, so he can use the entire width of the track and brake where he wants to.
On the back of the wing of the Volvo of Mark Bean, as we just see Banksy on the inside there, flicking to the TV view now. Oh, there we go, as Banksy took him on the inside into the chase. And again, a great switch line there. But look, they're side by side coming down into Murray's, and I think the GTR will just have it coming into Murray's corner. Yeah, absolutely. Both of these have pitted. Good job, Banksy.
Yeah, we've only got 3 people left to pit. That's Evil and Gabsy and Charger. So they've got, what, 3 minutes to get their pits done.
Riding with Charger in the M3 Evo now, Speed, looking back to Dave Crew, who's in that 6 Series. I'm going to try and give everyone a bit of a shot tonight, as it looks like Dave Crew's going to try and take Charger on the inside. No. Three of them in an orgy there. And that's Rick Binnersley. Charger comes in for his tyres. Going back to Evil, he still hasn't pitted yet. Whereabouts is he around the track? Let's find out. He's coming into the chase. Would you expect him to pit now, Speed?
Well, he can go one more lap on with the timer before the pit lane closes. But, yeah, as you can see now, he's just entered the pits. So he left it to the last possible minute to pit, get a fresh set of boots, low fuel load, and hopefully puts in some quick laps.
And Gabsy coming down Conrod Straight there in the last 600 metres of Conrod Straight through the kink and into the chase, and he hasn't pitted either, so I think we should expect him to pit now as well.
Yeah, he should be pitting now. There's 12 minutes left on the clock, so he's not going to get round in time to do another lap.
And as expected, in he comes, which will mean that CSAM, riding with CSAM now, CSAM will end up going into first position as he crosses that line, and there he goes into first. And Evil coming out of the pits. Where will he come?
Yeah, come out just behind Don, won't he? Behind Rigel.
Come on, where's Evil? Where's Evil? Where's Evil? There he is. So just in front of Rigel. So look, CSAM, Evil and Rigel, all 3 of them, as Rigel goes on the outside down towards Mountain Straight and under the bridge into Quarry, is on the outside. That's not the perfect place for him to be. Evil holds his line. Rigel is on the outside there as he just clips the wall, definitely. But that was well, yeah. He's a much better racer than I am, so far be it for me to tell him he done the wrong thing there. But it was no way that Evil was going to give that to him, was it?
No, I think Evil just ran in there on the old brakes and tyres after his pit stop. Obviously, Rigel had to run a bit wider and obviously clip the curb, which then flipped him into the wall. So it was a move to nothing. He wasn't going to lose anything. He wasn't going to get passed from behind. It was a gamble. But obviously, it didn't pay off.
Yeah. On the back of the wing with Banksy car looking back towards Mark Bean. Banks is extended away like Zola Budd on Zola Budd in Nikes. You don't even remember Zola Budd, do you? She was quick, and she used to run in bare feet. You know, she'd put trainers on, she'd be twice as quick, I'm sure she would. But just going through the S's there, it seems that Bean is a bit quicker through the S's than Banksy. He's closed up a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, that Volvo was very good through the corners. Nissan struggles. Obviously, he flips when he comes onto the straight. That the Nissan's got the legs on the straight versus the Volvo.
Yeah, look at that.
It's always going to be an uphill battle for him.
Look, yeah, I mean, we can't even see. I mean, that's how much of an advantage the GTR has. We can't even see Yeah, just a little dot. Up the streams. Is your stream? Oh, there you go. Yeah. I'll refresh it. There we go. So, Evil now in second position with Rigel in third, 0.6 of a second behind him. Just have a quick look at him. So, yeah, you could stay on these top three for the whole thing, but I'm conscious we've got everybody out there. So we're in the last 9 minutes of the race now. So what have we got to say so far, Speed? What's the highlights? Who set the quickest lap?
Quickest lap currently set by CSAM with a 208.343, and then it's Banksy with a 208.7, Evil with a 209.1, and then John Haig with a 209.2.
Yeah.
So pretty close. Obviously, CSAM's got a half a second advantage over, 4/10 advantage over the second quickest lap, but a 7/10 advantage over Evil and John. So obviously, I think he's just going to pull away now in the next couple of laps.
I'm willing to bet that Rodders is sitting in a hotel room on the edge of his bed, rocking backwards and forwards, having had in front of him several pieces of A4 paper, 2 calculators and several permanent pens where he's been working up the scores for this. And I think that if Evil finishes in the top 4, top 4, he could win this.
Yeah, I think Rodders has sat there with his Evil voodoo toll, stabbing it to death, hoping that it works. Try and get Evil to drop some places. But he starts worrying about Evil, but the CSAM that's currently in the lead. If Evil drops back too far, then it's CSAM he has to worry about.
Yeah. Just been told by Rodders in chat, everybody, he's worked it out several times. In the top 6, Evil only has to finish in the top 6 to win this championship. I said I didn't want to announce that. As we watch Rigel there, either side, let's click on the TV camera, come on. Auto director, change. There we go, up the hill towards the cut-in, these two side by side, as Rigel just allows Evil to flick into the cut-in and through repark there. My God.
Some close racing there.
In the cockpit with John Haig, in the cockpit with Rigel, through Solomon Park, or coming into Solomon Park now, into McPhillamy, down to the S's, Skyline section here, and down to the dipper, tight into the inside, and then down 2 more corners. We got a back marker there, I believe, just gone through Forest Elbow, and now they're onto the Conrod Straight. Who's that at the very back there? That's a BM.
It's either Sasha or Charger.
I think it's Charger. Let's run with Charger now, looking on the back wing of Charger. Yeah, it is. So it's Charger looking back now on Evil and Rigel. Charger, fantastic, very experienced racer. He will give way undoubtedly into the chase. There we go. Fair play, he went over as far as he could. I don't think he could have gone any farther to let these two by. So good job by Charger there. So they're really extending away, aren't they?
Yeah, they've really opened up a gap now. It's 13 seconds back to Banksy. And obviously CSAM's opened us up a 6-second gap over these two, so it's really spread out after the pit stops. But with 5 minutes left to go, I've chosen for the past 2 weeks who's going to be the racer of the meeting. So I'll try this week.
Do you know what? I genuinely, I'm not sure we're allowed to have the same person twice, but I have to. You're looking at him. You know, I mean, Rigel has just been outstanding. I think this time we've got 8 people watching. I'm going to say Rigel. What do you say?
That's a tough one. That's why I passed it on to you, because I couldn't decide.
I think Rigel. For me, Rigel, but I'm open up to suggestions. We got someone else who's voted Beans in the chat. Let me know what you think in chat. We'll discuss that in the last few minutes that we've got left, and then a minute before we'll announce who that's going to be. But you know what? That's fantastic from the 6 Series there, getting out of the way, letting these two battle it out in second and third. Evil in second, Rigel in third. These two have been side by side like Siamese twins for the past, 20 minutes essentially. So fantastic for them. Conscious we've been very focused on the front 4, quite rightly. I can't take the camera off of these two because Rigel is 0.2 of a second behind Evil. I don't think it would make much of a difference actually, apart from give Rigel a few more points. But Evil will definitely, not give the position away. I mean, he's. You might think, well, he knows that he'll be safe if he finishes in the top 6, but no, he will just keep going. It's down to Rigel to pass Evil, not Evil to give it up.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, everyone in RWB fights for the best position they can. They're not going to back down and let someone pass just because they're quicker or just because it's easier for the championship. They're just going to fight throughout.
Yeah, quite. As we watch Rigel now on the outside, coming down in towards Quarry Bend with a back marker in front of them, and again, same position. Look, we're and again, clip the wall or just onto the curb there. But there's no ways that he can take him coming up the hill there from that position. But what he's doing is keeping his speed rather than slackening off. So as we just go past another GTR, they're not sure who that is.
Possibly Flag.
Yeah, very possibly. Riding with Mark Bean in the Volvo.
Yeah, I think there's been a good couple of shouts out for the racer of the meeting, either Beans or CSAM.
Yeah.
As well.
I think what defines racer of the event. It's a bit like in rally, spirit of the rally. The Spirit of the Rally Award is awarded to anybody who has shown above and beyond that which you would expect of a rally driver, and sometimes that's just pure grit, getting from A to B when your car is in absolute tatters. In the racing world, it's down to not where they finish, but the sheer talent that they've shown. C-Sam is out in front. He's a fantastic racer and had a little battle earlier on. Evil, who we're watching now, well, I mean, he's had a fantastic race, hasn't he? And undoubtedly will finish in second position. Rigel, who's so close to him, as I said, they could be Siamese twins. He's fought a hard race, and at every opportunity he has gone for the overtake, and he's not letting Evil hold that position. But as we said, everyone has had a good race. But the time differential between the first 5 and the remainder of the pack is significant, and I think that's down to the 6.2k length of the track and the sorts of speeds they get up to. After 5 laps, there's a huge gap, isn't there?
Yeah, we had a pack at the start, didn't we? And then obviously that incident where that car half spun and dropped the second half of the field down, and yeah, that's kind of spread out the field. And yeah, I think it's just been one of them things, one slight mistakes with losing your, couple of seconds, whereas other tracks it may lose you a couple of attempts. It's that tight round the top half of the circuit.
Yeah, and I think typically as we move the camera off of Rigel, I think he had an issue because he went from 0.2 of a second down to 1.1 of a second. So, and all that takes is just a little knock somewhere as we see him scrape the wall there. But Evil, you can't take it away from him, can you? He's had a fantastic race. I think this is too close to call. I really do. I really do think this is too close to call who's been the racer of the event. I think you've got to hand it to CSAM for an outstanding pit strategy. I think you've got to hold it to Evil for his consistency and where he is now. You've got to hand it to Rigel, who's currently in third and fought his way up and had some fantastic side-by-side action. Madley, who was doing very well, who had that off and knocked him down into, what was it, 7th, 8th position. And we're riding with now, going to Forest Elbow. So yeah, too tight to call for me as we look on the back of Audi towards Ben Davis. So I'm going to hand this over to you, Speed. You nominate and I will back.
I think we should go with Beans. Obviously, he's not in the quickest car, and he's actually stuck it to the Nissans this weekend, and obviously done it justice. I think we should go with Beans. That's where I'm going.
I agree with you on that. So there you go. With the end of the race, our racer of the event is Mark Bean. So the winner was CSAM. Second position, Evil. Third position, Rigel. Fantastic racing. Fourth position, Banksy. Well done, Banksy. Some great overtaking there we saw there earlier on. I know he was a little bit worried about his hardware before starting this afternoon, but obviously got that squared away. Mark Bean in fifth. Where did he qualify, Speed?
I think he qualified in 7th. I think he qualified behind the group of Nissans we've got.
Really? Well, you know, he's our racer of the event, and very good job for him. Would you do me a favour, Speed? At an appropriate time, would you drag the first three and Mark Bean into chat? We'll have a quick 30 seconds with each of those. But an excellent race by everybody. There's still people racing around the track. Riding with Dave Crew now, looking back to FX. FX fairly close now, 0.3 of a second in that Opel. He's favoured that Opel for this whole series. He and Rodders actually. I don't think anyone else has. And the race is still on for them. As Dave Crew in his 6 series just holds that 0.3 of a second above for FX as they cross the line in 13th and 14th respectively.
Yeah, I'll just give them a couple of minutes to chill down after that 45-minute grueling race. Give them a chance to get a drink before I drag them down.
Yeah, riding with Charger and just coming down into the S's. His tyres all over the place, as we can see that. I'm not sure he'll have time to finish the race. But there we go. You can see the positions for you. I think it's fair to assess, although it will be confirmed, as I said earlier on, by virtue of a post on the in our Discord channel. But I think you'll find that Evil has won the championship, but I will not confirm that. That's down to the stewards and that's down to the scoring system. Meanwhile, Rodders is in a hotel on holiday, rocking backwards and forwards and pouring coffee into his eyeballs. So Rodders will confirm that, but we've now got our races in the channel, I believe. So first position CSAM, second Evil, third Rigel, and our racer of the event was Mark Bean. So first of all, over to CSAM. Fantastic race, very well done, first position. What from you was the highlights of the event?
No sounds. CSAM.
CSAM?
I don't think he's on qualifying either.
Okay, well we'll come back to CSAM in a minute. Evil, over to you. So far, very well done, second position. I think, although yet to be confirmed, so forgive me for sort of pre-announcing the league championship, but definitely I think that there's probably some reason for celebration there. But for the race at Bathurst, your interpretation?
Intense, nervous. I was busting for a piss, thinking about all the people around me. Desperately just not trying to lock up, trying to look after my tyres in the first stint so I could try and see if I could gain a few places, because I just had a feeling I was going to get pounced upon. As soon as I saw I had like Rigel and whatnot in the background, I was like, oh my God, I really need to book it. But that was tough because I just couldn't put the power down on the brakes like those guys could, because I'd just lock up and that would have been it and ruined. But there was a point, I don't know if you saw me, I sort of like randomly dinged the wall. But I thought that was it for me. I thought the race over. I can't even remember if damage is on or off. But somebody said going in the pits, and because the race was so silent and I was feeling so intense, it put me off, and it sort of like drove into the wall. And I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to spend the entire race chasing down Rigel. But no, we were sort of like backwards and forwards. He had a lot of strengths in one sector or two sectors, especially braking. I got him in a few, so yeah, that was good fun. You know, we've always had good races there, but I don't think I've been as sweaty and nervous as in my life on a sim racing game. But it's good though, so yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, Speed. Questions from you?
Yeah, that was a good race from you, mate. Obviously, you currently took the championship. Just your thoughts? Did you know what the permutations were for you to take the championship this weekend? Did you?
It's kind of been explained, but to be honest, I didn't really want to think about it because I just wanted to sort of enjoy myself and not think about where have I got to finish, because obviously there's a lot going on, and you know it's. Unfortunately, I'm getting old now, so even the slightest of distraction can, send me off the track if I'm really not 100% focused. So, it was kind of explained to me, but I didn't really want to make it the focus. If, say, for example, I'd done really, really badly and not won, I still would have loved this league. That's why we come back each week, because it's just an awesome bunch of guys and an awesome game. So, yeah, but it's great to win. I mean, I think it's my first ever, actually.
Well, very well done. It was a fantastic race, and we thoroughly enjoyed you battling it out with Rigel. We're just to go to see Sam if he sorted his Are you there, Sam?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Very
nice.
well done. Well done to you on the on winning that race. Again,
Thanks.
open question to you. Your words on the race, your interpretation.
Yeah, sorry for the mic problem. The race for me was kind of weird because I had some troubles in the first half, but then I started to catch the two guys in front of me, and I saw that it would have been hard to overtake them because we had a similar pace. So I got the idea to pit early to have a clear track for me, and it kind of worked because I ended up in front of them after they went into the pit, so that was good. And then I just had to drive safely and not crash, and I managed to win the race.
Yeah, and I think actually you pitted first, and that gave Evil the sort of opportunity to extend out. I think Evil done about three laps on those first sets of tyres. Did you think to yourself that that would be his tactic, and that he would extend away so much that actually he wouldn't be able to regain the position?
No, I just thought he would stop at around the half mark of the race, but he pushed three or four laps more, and that was good for me because the tires are a bit tricky to drive on when they are a bit too worn. So that was good. I practiced a bit the pit stop, so I knew I could gain some time. So I just wanted to have a clear track and not try to overtake them on the track.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Good tactics. Yeah, if I'm totally honest, I was going to see how long I could go on those tyres. It was only until I got a red warning saying pit stops close in 3 minutes. I was like, shit.
We actually thought you were going to do another lap. Sorry, cutting across you. We actually thought that you were going to do another lap, didn't we, Speed?
Yeah, there was something like 12 minutes 40 on the clock, so you could have gone for another lap. It would have been tight.
Yeah, I just didn't want to risk it, so I thought I'd get in. But yeah, I made a cock up because of that warning. I sort of freaked out and I locked up, dinged a wall, and then I looked. I read, brought. I was like, I'd now gone +9, almost a second lost. I was like, shit. Kept looking at the top time to see where Rigel was, and he was bouncing between 44, 45, 46. And I just got out in front, but he had the pace because coming out of that pits exit is really slow. But yeah, we had some good side by sides on that first corner.
Yeah, well, very well done to C Sam and to Evil. To third position then, our friend John Haig, Rigel. I've got to say there was some fantastic racing there. CSAM seems to be the master of the close-up race, but by golly, you were doing that as well with Evil, weren't you?
Yeah, we're old adversaries on many tracks, but that one we seem to particularly have good battles on. I knew I didn't have the overall pace on there. I felt quite comfortable in the car, but just lacking that extra half a second or so. After I pitted, I realised CSAM had done the sneaky one, and it had worked for him, and I didn't think fresh tyres were really going to make the difference on that one. A couple of times I managed to get alongside Evil. Obviously, the difference was made with the brakes by the looks of it, and it looked like he owned half of the corners and I owned the other half. But it just wasn't quite enough. The chief one was the first corner. I managed to get alongside a couple of times, but getting through that second corner, either side by side or getting enough advantage to get in front, is so hard.
Yeah, through Quarry Bend, and we saw that on, I think it was 3 laps on the bounce where you were side by side going into Quarry, but of course, as you say, not the position to go up into the cutting. Just super fantastic racing and fantastic to watch. By golly, I was jumping out of my chair. Speed, questions from you?
I've got nothing.
I've got one for you guys as you were watching the stream. And how bad was the accident? Because we heard it obviously, but it sounded quite horrific. And obviously, there's not much room for cars to spin out on Bathurst. So I was almost prepared for everyone to do it like a administrator call out, double yellow flag, slow down. Was it bad back there?
Yeah.
Because through the rest of the race, it was pretty tame, pretty clear.
Yeah, this is not going to sound good, and the fact is that I don't think that actually we can give you a concise rundown of exactly what happened, purely because the auto director was on and didn't capture it. Of course, I jumped out my chair, and so did Speed, but I think we managed to assess that we think, and we should confirm it afterwards, we think Dave Crew, he was on his own and he was 13 seconds behind everyone else. So we're not completely and utterly sure what happened there. For those of you who watch the stream afterwards, and for historic purposes, we'll put something in our Discord that explains what happened there. But I'm afraid we're not able to give you an interpretation.
So we don't need to visit the track and lay some wreaths down on the corner.
I don't think so. No, sadly, 19 people in real life have lost their lives around Bathurst. I don't think on this occasion in the sim world we need to go and lay a wreath,
a virtual wreath.
Yeah, virtual wreath. Yeah,
play the trumpet.
Overall, I'm not sure it would have made a massive difference because those skylines were just far superior on that track. I was a little surprised not to see Banksy up behind us. Well, surprised and relieved. I think he got the fastest lap. I saw he was a little bit behind me, and I was just hoping to try and keep in front, and thankfully I did.
Yeah, Banksy had a couple of good battles that we caught with Madley. And of course, Madley in one position was in third and then had an off coming into the S's out of McPhillamy Park into the S's. Had an off there and essentially lost 4 positions there. But yeah, they had some. There were some great battles right the way through the field. But one thing we noticed with that track, 6.2 kilometres, 173 miles an hour, 280 kilometres an hour down Conrod Straight. You only actually have to do about 6 laps, and the gap between the first and the last is almost a whole lap. Especially as you say, the GTRs, they've got such long legs, haven't they?
Oh, they certainly have. Yes.
Fantastic. So very well done, CSAM. Thank you to Evil and thank you to Rigel. Your battle there for me was, we should bottle that and say this is what sim racing is all about. Final congratulations really is to Beans, who was not only voted the racer of the event by us in the commentary box, but also by the 11 people that were in chat. So very well done to you, Beans. I'm going to hand over to Speed now to ask the opening question, but well done, Beans. Fantastic racing.
Cheers, bud.
So how frustrating was it being in that Volvo against them skylines down them straights?
Every time we come to the straight, bye-bye. When I got to the next corner, oh, God, I'm close again. But nah, it's just the Volvo. All the cars are compared to that is just ridiculous. I mean, I was good on the brakes, but then I'm overheating my tyres too much to keep doing it to catch them up all the time. My front right was shot. Once it got to 8%, I couldn't carry on doing what I was doing. But yeah, it was good fun. I mean, I pushed it as hard as I could, scraping the walls a few times to get around the corners just to survive. But yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, we was on board with you for a few times, and obviously we see you catch up into turn one, the pull out in up the hill drag to the next corner, and then you catch up over the mountain section, and then they just disappear down the back straight. And it's very frustrating where you can see that you're catching up in one section and losing more than the time you gain in over one section, losing it in another. So you did an excellent job to come in fifth and beat a couple of the Nissans.
Absolutely.
I loved going down that mountain. In that Volvo down the mountain is just so awesome. I mean, I know I was catching big time up there, probably 2 of the 4 seconds I was losing just coming down the mountain because I loved it down there.
Yeah, very well done. And there should be prizes for racers of the events. No question about that. So thank you very much to all 4 of you for joining us in the commentary box. We really appreciate your time, and of course we appreciated your racing skill out there, which, you know, for me and Speed, we had great joy watching and commentating on. I know the 11, 12 people that were watching in the stream also enjoyed it, and of course for historic reasons, people will look back on this and say what great racing. So thank you very much to you. Closing down the stream now, final couple of words. You know, we've got an affiliate links going on with RWB now. Fanatec, Ricmotec, CD Keys, Noble Chairs, Overclockers, Amazon, Kingwin, you name it. You know, if you want to get some good prices and help RWB, then please go along to those links. Outside of that, he's been Speed. I've been Tiger. Yeah, he's been Tiger. There you go, the new cock, the new chief of commentary. Remember, don't race alone. Race RWB. Till next time. Take care now.
To the roost.
Right.
Bye.